And Young Hearts Run Free. It's coming around to 8 minutes past 3. It's a Thursday afternoon, a lovely afternoon. And I've dragged indoors. I'm not sure if they'd be outside normally, but my guests with us on the sofa today, well, they're really into their martial arts. We've got Scott and Aimee Fairbairn, spend most of their time running their club ASF training, which is where they teach martial arts and also self-defence courses. Aimee, I gather, I'm going to behave myself now, is the highest graded female in the style of jiu-jitsu or jutsu, or you're going to have to pronounce it for me now.
Aikijutsu.
Whatty?
Aikijutsu.
Aikijutsu in the country. Okay, so that's a specific sort, isn't it? Yeah. You were Suffolk Coastal Sports Personality of 2012 as well.
Yes, it was.
So a little while ago now.
Yeah.
And both of you have just been to Africa teaching martial arts.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay, so which one of you wants to start? Scott, you'd say you're the talker, so I'll let you start. So why Africa? Why have you been to Africa?
Well, it's quite a long story. We're connected with various different clubs and organisations, and there's always been sort of high-graded senseis go out there and teach, and they sort of asked us if we'd like to go as well. And we thought, yeah, why not? You know, and so they're now sort of creating the next generation of teachers and instructors to go out there and help out whenever we can. So
why specific? I mean, does this happen in other parts of the world as well, and you just happen to go to Africa? Why Africa?
You
don't know.
I think of other styles. There are other places that people go, probably like India and places. But the organisation we're involved in, they specifically go off to Africa each year, mainly Zimbabwe and Zambia.
And what sort of stuff are you teaching when you're out there, then?
It's Aikijutsu.
Okay.
Which is our main style of martial arts that we practice.
And it's for free, isn't it? So how does it work? You just rock up in a village and...
Well, yeah, obviously we pay to get over there and everything, and yeah, to teach for free. And what they are is primarily they're a karate club. So it's Shonryu Karate, and we actually teach Shonryu Karate here. So that's the connection. But as I said, the clubs are all sort of all connected all over the world. I don't know where they all are, but I know there's some in Norway, there's some in America, etc. Tokyo. So they're all interconnected and everything. So yeah, it's just like a big family.
So do you go into villages or into towns when you're out there? Or?
No, it's actually...
It was in Harare is where we went. It's lovely. I absolutely loved it there. Really nice place.
Brilliant. What an opportunity for you.
Yeah, we did. We got to see a little bit of the sights while we were there as well. Went to a game park as well.
And what's the purpose? Is it done as a sport? Is it done as self-defence? What's the purpose of teaching? Is it just to give someone something to do, an activity?
Yeah, it's an art, because they primarily do Shonryu Karate, and the Jindakai, the organisation we're involved with, they also have the Aikijutsu side as well, and they expressed an interest in wanting to learn the Aikijutsu, and obviously going through the syllabus as well. So we're lucky where we are in Ipswich to have some of the highest graded Aikijutsu in our style. So
you're going to have to tell me what it is now. How does that differ? And put it into perspective with all the other martial arts.
Oh, how do we define Aikijutsu? Well, it's kind of using somebody's energies and forces against themselves. So if somebody comes running in, it's pretty much moving out the way, getting out the way of the situation. But it was when the samurai warriors had lost all their weapons, it's unarmed combat. So most of what we do, you can't do it in a competition because it is designed to incapacitate your enemy, put it that way, in the nicest possible way. Yeah. So as I said, a lot of it's wrist locks, joint locks, that kind of thing.
So how did you get into it in the first place?
Well, actually, it's I've been interested in martial arts from a young age, but I never really got to have a try at it. But Scott was already doing the Aikijutsu, and I said, why don't I come along?
And so you got you into it. And so how did you come across it? Is it just one of a whole group? I mean,
yeah, there's so many different martial arts you can sort of pick up and everything. And as I say, most people have heard of sort of basic ones like judo, karate, taekwondo. And this just seemed something different that a friend was doing. So I thought I'd go along and have a look. And as I say, I kept sort of saying to him, "Oh, come along. You know, could do with some more females in the club, because that's one of the major things that seems to be lacking in martial arts is a lot of female interest."
You sort of almost need to take me right back to the beginnings, because I know what martial arts are because I've seen all the kung fu films and so on. but I know no more than that, really. So if someone comes to a club, there's all sorts they can do, is there?
Yeah, well, as I said, depending on where you go, there's all sorts of varieties of different martial arts. As I say, you've got things that maybe are more kicking and punching, which could be more your karate. Then you've got throws and which is more judo, and then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is more sort of wrestling on the ground. But as I said, they've also all got other elements and different aspects in them as well. So you can't really define any one of them, really. No. They've all got different bits and pieces they do.
So they'll vary hugely.
Yeah.
And do you do more than this one?
I do, yeah.
Aimee, yeah?
Well, I have dabbled in quite a few in the past, but presently I'm doing the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the Aikijutsu and the karate.
So what got you in the very first place into any of this?
Well, actually, I've always been a dancer, so I've always been into keeping fit as well, so like the dancing aspect. But I really wanted to do something where I feel a bit more secure about being able to look after myself if something were to happen. So I thought, it's a bit more self-defence. So I thought the martial arts would be a good idea.
And self-defence is quite a big part of what you do at your club?
Yeah, there is actually a difference between sort of martial arts and self-defence. The self-defence side of things tends to be more about learning the awareness, avoiding situations, not getting involved in things. Whereas I say martial arts is learning an art, possibly coming from a syllabus where you'd learn certain moves, certain kicks, certain punches, that kind of thing. But I'd say the self-defence we actually teach is more about teaching people to be aware, not taking shortcuts, that kind of thing, not having your headphones on so that you can't hear what's going on around you, etc. So that the self-defence is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's all about using your voice as well, appearing confident, how not to appear like a victim as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm sure someone once told me not to have long hair that's easily grabbable. Does that make sense, or have you not heard that one?
We've heard that, but that's not something.
Not something you can do.
No,
especially you can put it inside your coat, can't you? If you're out and about with a coat on.
I wouldn't worry about hair.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry. Yeah, I've got them, so yeah.
You're all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you start the club?
The ASF club, we started the martial art part of it probably about a year ago, but we'd been trying to run the self-defence side of things a little bit before that, but it kind of stopped and started because Aimee fell pregnant. So we sort of launched it and then pretty much stopped almost straight away, and then now we've been sort of running it for about a year, and it's going pretty well so far. And I say we've just started up another part of it where we do a Little Dragons class where we teach 4 to 6 year olds, and it's more about sort of life skills and safety skills with a little bit of martial arts thrown in for sort of good measure. So,
and you both teach? Do you both instructors?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have to take qualifications for that?
We do. With the Aikijutsu, we were actually both level 2 coaches under the British Aikido Board. So, and we've also done petals as well, which is where you've got your sort of teaching qualifications. We've got self-defence level 3s.
Yeah, numerous different things.
And it's all your part time though, isn't it? It's like your hobby, but you would like it to become a business.
Yeah, ideally, it'd be great to sort of go round teaching and everything.
So do you, as well as classes, do you take people out as do demonstrations?
We have done. I mean, we've actually run some courses, like a couple of self-defence courses run at BT Martlesham for some of the people over there. We did some other work we've done at sort of Felixstowe Academy. We did part of their activities week and did like a day of martial arts, all different martial arts compiled into one day for them. And all the kids really enjoyed that, and they've already asked us back for next year already. So
we also ran free anti-bullying sessions as well, which we run for our local school, for the high school. And we've also done for the younger primary school children as well.
It's quite a wide variety of stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like to get involved with as much as possible.
Yeah. And do people join because it's a good way of keeping fit as well, or is it for self? What do most people come to you for?
I think it's a mixture. Some people is for fitness, they might come along. Other people, maybe they're lacking a bit of confidence and they just want something, just give them a bit of a boost. Some people come just because they want to meet new people, and a lot of the very young children, it's a really good way for them to socialise and like play games and have fun with each other, as well as learning a particular style. You
obviously don't have to be particularly petite as petite can be. So, I mean, is that also gives you the techniques then? Maybe just stand up for yourself.
That's why I wish more ladies would join in, because it's not about being really strong. You don't have to be particularly really muscular and fit to be able to do the martial arts. It is all about the technique, learning techniques over and over, but using your body weight against someone.
And you can do it either competitively, sort of work your way up through belts like you would with karate and things. Is that how it works?
Yeah. So there's a grading system, and not with the Aikijitsu, but some of the other stuff we've done. You can obviously do competitions, etc.
So it says that you can either just do it for yourself, or you can do it competitively. So all sorts of different angles.
It's
on
up
it
to
as
the
well.
individual. I mean, no one has to grade. It's up to the individual what they want to get out of it, really.
Although I gather you're fairly highly rated yourself, aren't you? Top grades in various things.
Well, I'm always progressing. So I like to keep progressing.
Yeah.
She's done all right though, hasn't she?
Yes, she's doing pretty well.
We'll come back and talk more then. Make sure we give the website in just a minute. So I'll gallop through both of you, how you came to be involved and what your day jobs are, because I reckon quite a lot of people have met you, Scott.
Yes.
Uh,
They've been in Ipswich Town Centre at any stage, won't they?
Yeah, well, it'd be Felixstowe, sorry.
Felixstowe Town Centre, okay,
Yes.
so if you've been to Felixstowe, you could have spotted him. Talk more about that in just a minute or two. Come around to 3:25 here on BBC Radio Suffolk. Got Scott and Aimee Fairbairn with us on the programme today, talking about their passion for martial arts, just back from Africa where they were teaching martial arts. Aimee was just saying you like Sam Smith, don't you?
I do, yeah. He's got a fantastic voice.
Have you noticed though, it really is like Marmite. People either love that or really don't like it as well.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll go down in history. I think it's going to be one of those ones that grows on you as well, don't you think?
Yeah.
Aimee, tell me a bit. Let's start with you. Highest graded female in the style of Akijutsu. Is that right? Have I got that right?
In the style we practice, yeah.
Yeah. So what does that mean then? That you've got the sort of the highest marks, the highest belts?
All it is the Jindakai Association we're involved with. We don't seem to attract a lot of females to the club, which is why it's one of my passions really to try and get females more involved in martial arts. For some reason, women, I don't know if it's the close contact that they don't like. So, and I've carried on training. We've had some women come and go, but I've carried on.
So you work through various grades, just like other exams, do you? That's how. So how qualified are you then? What's your grade?
I'm 4th down black belt in the Aikijutsu.
And how far can you go?
Well, we have our instructors at 8th dan. So
right, so quite a while.
Probably to 6th.
Yeah, I don't think we can surpass them. I don't think it's possible.
That's a long way off.
So take me through the sort of the basics you learn when someone would come, and then what you progress through. Just try and paint a picture of what you do.
With the Aikijutsu, the first technique is learning the basic principles. Like we've got certain wrist locks, we have arm locks, elbow locks, finger locks, constrictions, so like neck constrictions as well. Also throws. But the first techniques tend to be from a kneeling position. So like in the old days, the samurai, where would be kneeling down inside their houses. Then progress up to standing, and they keep progressing. Then you have to demonstrate particular principles, such as like an elbow lock. You'd have to demonstrate various different ways of an elbow lock. And then carry on.
Is it physically quite demanding? Does it keep you fit?
It is. It's physically demanding. It's also mentally demanding, because there's a lot of Japanese words you have to learn, and so it's taking all that in as well.
What do you enjoy about it?
I like the fact it's quite a traditional style, the Aikijutsu. I like the fact you can work with like big strapping man, maybe 6'2", get a technique to work on them, and and it really works. So it's quite good fun. It's nice confidence, and everyone in the club is really, really nice as well.
So when you go and train to do something like this, I imagine you have to undertake not to use it in general, unless I suppose it's self-defence. But I mean, how do you cope with that? People coming to you and you don't want them to go out and start putting people into locks on the pavement and so on.
Well, we all have like a code of conduct in the club. Obviously, inside the dojo, the area is for practising only. A lot of the people that train there are, really good people, and are not the type of people who go and use it on the street anyway.
So it is a code of conduct that you have.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Felixstowe? I've
been in Felixstowe my whole life.
Yeah. And originally I think you wanted to be a firefighter when you left school, didn't you?
Yeah, for a while I did want to be a firefighter. But then when I left school, I really got quite interested in computers, so I went off to college, the local college in Ipswich. So I studied business administration and carried on for a bit more about computers. went on to software engineering.
Wow.
So all about the computer programming side.
And do you still do that?
I don't actually. I still work with computers, but I work for a training provider in Felixstowe, ITS Training.
Mm-hmm.
Recently changed their name to Felixstowe Trade and Enterprise College. The administration manager there.
Do you enjoy it?
I do, yes. I'm currently part-time since I came back from maternity. We deal with a lot of apprenticeships in the area, so like mainly in the shipping training. Also traineeships, those that are looking to get into work, particularly within the shipping environment.
Don't you do quite a lot of apprenticeships? Aren't you one of the biggest providers?
Yeah, we do. We do a lot. And so shipping is our specialist trade, but we have management, administration, customer service.
So you are juggling as you had your baby last year, didn't you?
I did. Yes. She was born in February last year.
So you're juggling baby, martial arts,
and a job as well.
How do you find time to do it all?
Not very easily, but we get there. Yeah, but if you enjoy it, you find the time.
And she's a little girl, isn't she?
Yes.
Tell me about her name.
Her name's Aimee, actually. Yeah, which means harmonious spirits.
So is that Japanese then?
Obviously she's named after the main martial art, the Aiki-Jitsu.
I wondered when I saw the name, I thought, I wonder what she'll say for that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a mixture of the sort of, well, I suppose the meaning harmonious spirit, and yeah, because it was the main martial art we're passionate about.
Which is fantastic. Aiki, yeah? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
So tell me about you, Scott, because you're also live in Felixstowe, don't you?
Yes. What do you want to know?
So and you didn't like school too much, did you?
No. I've got a skin complaint on my hands and feet, so that school was a little bit difficult.
Kids are horrible, aren't they? They do pick up anything that makes you slightly different.
Yeah. So I got a little bit bullied for that and everything. But then I suppose I got in with a group of lads and sort of forgot about it and got past that. But I suppose there's the bit where I got to the meeting girls and everything. So it did play a bit of a major part when I was younger and everything. But yeah, gone past all that.
Well, what about when you left? I think you pretty much ended up. The job you do now is pretty much what you almost walked into when you left school, wasn't it?
Well, it was weird because obviously, as I say, I own Mr. Cobbler's Shoe Repairs in Felixstowe.
Okay.
And initially, when I was at school, I sort of didn't really have a clue of what I wanted to do. And my dad at the time was working for BT. So I kind of went into electrical engineering, tried to go that route. And at that point, my dad was actually leaving BT and ended up with a shoe repair shop in Ipswich. And he just basically knew the guy in Felixstowe, asked him if he wanted help. So I started working for him, and within about 2 years I was running it. And at that point my dad was planning to retire and just come and work with me for a couple of years because I offered to buy it off him.
So I think by the time you're 22 or something, you bought the business, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it's brilliant, isn't it? Because don't we all need shoes repaired wherever we are, whoever we are? Just about everybody does, don't they?
Yeah. There's still quite a big trade in it. I mean, it's not as good as it used to be.
We throw away more now, don't we?
There's a big throwaway society now, and obviously the cheapness of some of the shoes, but it's a false economy, really. You sort of pay £5 for a pair of shoes or whatever from whatever company, and they don't last.
Well, heels don't last. No. I've got a pair that need doing. I should have brought them in.
It's funny, as soon as somebody knows what I do, they straight away say, I've got this zip or this heels, or yeah.
You must have seen all the fashions in shoes change over the years as well.
Oh yeah, I've seen some very, very strange stiletto heels which are literally like a piece of metal you stand on. I don't even know how women walk in the things. But yeah, I've seen a lot of different trends in shoes, etc.
Does it mean you get to know quite a lot of people in Felixstowe as well?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I seem to know everybody's faces, and I used to sort of go out and about, and people would say, "Oh, it's Mr. Cobbler." Nobody knew me by my actual name. Everyone just called me Mr. Cobbler wherever I was. I'd go to the pub or whatever, and it'd be like, "Oh, there's Mr. Cobbler." And on a few occasions when I was on a night out, I actually had people come up to me asking me if I could mend their shoes while I was in the nightclub, etc. So yeah, that was a bit weird. I didn't carry my tools around with me.
And the martial arts, how did you get into that then?
Well, as I say, it was a friend that sort of started me off. I actually did karate for about 3 years as a child.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I can't even remember why, I didn't carry on. And as I said, a friend of mine said, "Oh, why don't you come along and have a look at this?" And I think I was doing it for a couple of years, and then I ended up injuring my back or something. I was out for about 2 months with sort of bruising on my back from something that had gone slightly wrong. And then I started doing karate again, and then sort of, then somebody else said, oh, you thought about trying judo, and then somebody else said, you should thought trying kickboxing. So I started dabbling in different things, and even now I don't confess to being any good at anything. I just enjoy doing
Do a bit of them all, yeah?
Just enjoy sort of, trying out different things.
Kickboxing became really popular, didn't it, quite swiftly?
I think everything has its sort of place. Obviously film industry helps it to a degree, although if people really look at films, it's all wire work and choreographed and takes months to do. It looks absolutely awesome on the film, but when you see how much work goes into it and it's not real, then it makes a big difference.
So how much of your time in a week, how much of your time is spent either training or running a club? What do you do to...
Well, it's changed a lot now, obviously, since we've had our daughter. Before our daughter was here, we were probably training up to 14 to 16 hours a week.
Really?
With full-time jobs and running our own classes as well. But obviously since we've had our daughter, that's cut down
quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
We sort of take it in turns a little bit. Sort of Aimee will train Monday night. We'll both do an hour and a half each on Tuesday, either side of each other. Wednesdays we train together. Thursdays we alternate. Fridays we teach our own class. And Sundays, if we can, we train or run events.
It's quite a full-time occupation, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good fun though.
You enjoy it though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good fun.
Okay, 22 minutes to 4. So talking about martial arts and the club that's run by Scott and Aimee Fairburn. This is in Felixstowe I'm talking about here. It's a martial arts club. So asftraining.co.uk. That's the website, is it not?
Yep.
So just put it into perspective, the things you offer, the things that you offer there.
Okay, right, in a nutshell. On Friday nights is when we run the main classes. We have a Little Dragons class that's for like 4 to 6 year olds. I
can just picture them.
Oh, they're all great. They're all getting
fire.
little suits and everything with dragons on the back and everything. It looks really good. And then after that class, we have sort of a karate class, Shorinryu karate. We do a couple of other bits and pieces in there. And then after that class, we then run a martial arts-based fitness class. That's on our Friday nights. But we also run self-defense courses as and when people want them. And again, if people want them, we run free anti-bullying sessions. So we'll actually go to people, if need be as well, and run those. And probably every 3 months or so we run seminars where we get guest instructors to come down and teach different things. And at the moment we've actually got one this weekend in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and any money that's made from that will be going to fund projects in Africa, where they're building sort of dojos in the ghettos to try and get, obviously, kids and stuff involved.
A dojo is where you do your...
Training centre, I should say,
All these words, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's a whole new place, a set of words. So could anyone come to that demonstration this weekend?
Yes, and anyone can come, and it's from 10 till 12 at the sports hall where the Orwell High School used to be on Maidstone Road. Orwell High School's not there, but they've obviously kept the sports centre. And I say it's 2 hours, it's just £5.
And you were saying there are videos on your web page as well, so people can actually pick up quite a lot of information and find out more about you.
Yep, and all the courses and stuff we're running are all on there, etc., and classes.
And you mentioned earlier on, didn't you, Aimee, about you want to get more women into this?
I do. Something I really strongly do believe in. Women, when they join martial arts, they tend to be naturally quite good. Some of the ladies we've had. And I think it really helps their confidence. When we've got a few ladies at some of the clubs, and you really see how well they progress. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah.
And I was mentioning as well, because there's this programme at the moment, isn't there? This Girl Can, and you've been involved in that well. Yeah, it's about getting women in sport.
It is, yeah. It must have been last year sometime. I ran an Aikido This Girl Can in Stowmarket for a local club, Satomi Kai Aikido. And basically, again, I was the only female at the club, so all the men had to send like a wife, a girlfriend, a sister, a mum along to the club instead in their place, and we had an Aikido session.
Excellent.
And it went down really well.
Do you think you inspired any of them to carry on doing it?
Well, actually, yeah, we did have a couple stay on. One of them's actually joined our karate class as well, so it's...
Because I think women think they need to be fit and, and they worry about what they look like, but you don't need to worry about... I mean, you can turn up and do this without having run a mile or anything, can you?
That's true, yeah. You don't need to be physically fit. Everyone works to everyone's,
own limitations.
Limitations.
Brilliant. So if people have a look, asftraining.co.uk, and if they want to come along this weekend, have a look. The timings are all on there and everything.
Yeah, time and everything is all on there. Can I just say one other club as well, the Aikijitsu club, which is the main one we train at. I'm actually chairman of that club as well. That's why I just wanted to do a quick plug for Nakama Dojos. We actually train at Gold Soccer Centre in Ipswich and at Felixstowe at the Felixstowe Academy as well. And again, the website for that is
aikijutsufelixstowe.co.uk.
It's all spelled. I don't think anyone knows to look.
No one's going to be able to spell it, but yeah.
You need to send me the details or drop me a line and I'll maybe put a link to my Facebook page or something.
Yep.
Because they're always it's gone over my head. Yeah. It's been really interesting. Thank you so much for coming in. Sadly, it's radio. Otherwise, I'd get you to do a quick demonstration. But maybe you ought to do a quick video and I'll put it on Facebook. Then everyone can see the sort of what you do. I mean, when you've got plans coming up, what are your long-term plans? I mean, Olympics?
Well, at the moment, so I'm doing the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been competing this year in some of their tournaments. I've got another one, the English Open, coming up. So
you've won medals, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So
yeah, two recently.
Had two recently. Won gold in my first one and came away for silver in my second. So
watch this space.
It's really good fun.
Well, congratulations, and let me know how you get on as well if you do really well. Thank you for coming in and telling us.
Thank you for having us.
So Scott and Aimee Fairbairn. So asftraining.co.uk, and what was the other?
aikijutsufelixstowe.co.uk.
And I'll find out how to spell it and tell you a little bit later on.